So the funny thing is, when I left high school, I went for pre-med because I was told you have to put away all your toys and you had a great run, but it's time to make money and to be an adult. And I didn't come from means, so I fed into that and I went to Barry University for pre-med, full ride, and I did that and I was good at it, but I also kept playing in a rock band, Jacob's Ladder. And I was getting private guitar lessons at the school also. So I was keeping up the music while studying. And in my third year at college, I went to my counselor and I said, I have an opportunity to go on tour right now. I just finished my last final. What do you think? And I thought that she would give me this long spiel about how I need to stay and this and that. And she looked at me and said, go. You can always come back. You have great grades, but you can't always go on tour. So go, and if you don't like it, you can come back, but you can't do that again. This opportunity is once in a lifetime. So I checked out of school that very day, and I went on tour a week later. And I did that from 21 to 27 years old. I toured America, and I went to a bunch of different places. Full Productions recording studio. I opened that 9 years ago, and we've recorded artists like Torch and Jacuzzi Boys, and a lot of people have come through the studio, which is really amazing. Partnered with a few amazing engineers like Ryan Haft. And I've actually had the privilege of working on so many records and mixing so many people and doing that. I don't really record anymore because I don't have the time. But I just produced Lily Kaplan. She was my student for many years. She's going to NYU now. Her song blew up on Spotify. She's doing really well, and I'm really proud of her. And I have my own album that I'm working on with Sebastian Zell. It's beautiful synths and really trippy ambient guitars. And it will be an instrumental record coming out in the fall. So as a musician, I had to figure out how to make money. So I would teach private guitar, and I went house to house. There was a point where I had about 30 students, and I was just driving every day. Plus I was going to school for music again, and I had a recording studio, and I was working on YMU, but it was sort of a side thing back then. And then YMU started to really grow, and we got to this point where we needed office space, and I was getting 10 phone calls a day for private guitar lessons, and I couldn't take any more students. And just this synergy happened with our partners, and we're able to finally decide to open a school. So the Wynwood School of Music is an after-school, the Wynwood School of Music is an after-school program. You can do private lessons or rock ensembles. You can be anywhere from 8 years old to as old as you want. And those are for people that can afford music lessons, while Young Musicians Unite is for any child who can't afford a music lesson. So I've been privileged enough to be in the position where I can work with students that can't afford a music education and give them a free education, or work with people that can't afford one and give them the best experience of their life. I'm a product of free music education. If it wasn't for mentors in my life that gave me their time, I wouldn't be here right now. I wouldn't be doing all the great things I'm doing for the community. I think every child should have access to a free music education, no matter what their background. And since 2008, many programs have been cut in the inner cities. So our focus is going into middle schools in the inner city and providing a free music education. And right now we're working with 35 schools across Miami, grades 5 to 12. YMU is the only in-school music education nonprofit in Miami-Dade for grades 5 to 12. Young Musicians Unite is currently working with 3,500 students. They don't pay for anything. And we have a reach from in-school, any child, they can pick up an instrument for the first time, to after school. We are focused on the students who want more, the students who want to go to college for music, that want to perform. And we've seen that about 90% of our students in our after-school programs get a full scholarship to college of their choice. And on top of that, we have a recording studio here, the 1 RPM recording studio. So any child in Miami-Dade can record for free, they can mix for free, and they can also learn how to record and do songwriting and beat making class. So we want to make sure that we meet every child where they're at. And if you're a student who is in support of a free music education, we're there for you. And if you're a student who can support a child with a free music education, we also have programs called the Partner Band Student Ambassadors, where kids from Ransom are playing in rock bands and they're going out in the community and they're playing rock and roll, but they're also raising money for Young Musicians Unite. And on top of that, they're going into the schools and they're mentoring children and they're building relationships and connections. So we put on about 100 youth performances a year, and a lot of people don't realize that. So we do everything from playing at the band shell, playing at the Heat Arena on the Heat shows, to building our own stage on Lincoln Road and putting on performances there. It's really important that students get the experience of performing, and I think it's also important that people realize that young artists can produce amazing work. So we're pushing original music and covers from students. A big way that we raise money for Young Musicians Unite is our annual music festival that we have at the band shell. So on April 29th in 2023, we'll have the 10th annual Young Musicians Unite Spring Benefit Concert, which we're trying to raise $350,000 that day. But we'll be turning 10 this year. Yes, so the Miami Beach Rock Ensemble inspired me to pick up an instrument. Burris inspired me to be a musician, and since Burris' passing, I've taken over the rock ensemble 5 years ago as a director, and I was able to put it under Young Musicians Unite, and I was able to just do amazing things with it. We just had our 50th anniversary concert. We had over 100 musicians come from across America from over 50 years to put on this beautiful 4-hour concert. We just landed a match from the city of Miami Beach, which is amazing. So now we have $30,000 fund from the city we're able to work with to be able to have these kids perform. It's a group of 12 amazing musicians who have to audition, but it's also a group of 6 techies who are building stages and sound systems. And they are performing all over Miami Beach, inspiring thousands of kids to pick up an instrument. Look, I love the Miami music scene. I like to go to bars and to see musicians perform. It's really sad that Las Rosas was just closed. That was one of my favorite places to go see bands in the local scene. It just seems that every single month you're hearing about a new venue closing, but we still have a lot that are great. So I love going to Gramps and watching bands. The Anderson has some great nights over there. You have Lanyap. Floyd's actually has some really cool stuff really late at night. So, there's so many different places to still go to, but I love to either go see a band play or honestly just wake up early, walk my dogs on the beach. I have 2 mini golden doodles, so I hang out with them all the time with my fiance. There's a lot of things going on in Miami that are amazing. North Beach Band Shell puts on amazing events. So we have the North Beach Band Shell Music Festival in December. I know they're bringing Lattice and Mo. There's a bunch of jam bands, and I think it'll be amazing. I also love Ground Up Music Festival. I think everyone, if you live in Miami, you should go to Ground Up Music Festival every single year. Growing up, I had a learning disability. I also had a stutter, and I would work through that. And when I was in the 4th grade, I saw the Miami Beach Senior High School Rock Ensemble perform at North Beach Elementary, and that blew my mind. And I knew I wanted to pick up an instrument and to learn the guitar after that. The music classroom gave me a safe space in school where I was able to learn, I was able to have friends, I was able to talk to other people and just take my time to really figure out how to put on an amazing performance and to work through my skills and everything. So I learned a lot in the music room, but the most important thing I learned in the music room was having mentors, people that believed in me and cared about me. When I went to Beach High, I met Doug Burris. He was in a wheelchair, and here's a man who could only move his head, but was teaching music education to thousands of kids a year. And that was the man that inspired me to pick up an instrument in the first place. So I was able to work with him every day after school, in shows, and I was practicing. And what I realized now is I was getting ready for my future. I was learning all the skills I needed for my future. And I also had this father figure, this person who meant so much to me and taught me so much. And he was very hard on us, but it was out of the goodness of his heart because he wanted us to be amazing and to be the best. So I gravitated towards the music room at a young age, and it really just helped me become the best version of myself. Every child deserves access to a free music education, and it just costs $515 for each student to be able to support them for a whole year for 87 lessons a year for the school and their own instrument. So you can donate, or you can go in your closet, you can grab all of your old instruments, your drum sets, your guitars, and drop them off and donate to us. So you can go to youngmusiciansunite.org and you can donate your old instruments to us. We need them, or you can buy us instruments. Every single child has an instrument in the school, so we need 3,500 instruments for our students right now. So drum sets, trumpets, bass, guitars, everything.